For 6 months just head without body, 6 months just body without head. Has anyone seen a land inhabited by these people? No, I have. It's not a folktale. I've not only seen but have been to that land. For 6 months to talk and to eat is their job, like a millstone grinding. The following 6 months Bhima gorging and Shakuni suffering, for the headless body only shitting is its share. The head talks, eats, drinks, just talking, eating, drinking, while the body is working, laboring, shitting, work, labor, shit, to sweat, to be bone weary. In the land of the half-body. Do women live in that land? What does the species of women look like? There are women, there are children. The same goes for women too, half and half body. They have long hair like the women of our land. They are big, tall, buxom, broad and well proportioned. As for clothes, they hang them below the waist. The law of the land does not permit a body hidden by clothes. When the body dwells for 6 months it is springtime for them, since the bodies are headless when the men and the women meet. They are not fastidious. The head only gives birth within 6 months. Besides talking and eating, the mouths of the women also deliver babies. The women have more attributes than the men do. That is why the women have no teeth. God created them with ingenuity. When the head walks, it's too broad, fan-like ears, spread wide, and it flies like a bird, beating its wings. When they speak, we can comprehend their language. They speak the language of men. But when the headless body speaks, a voice that no stranger can recognize emits from an orifice of the body. This voice is also accompanied by an odor. Alan, such as this one is in the news, a land much talked about. The moon shines at night, the sun shines in the afternoon. There is no predicament of poverty, dearth of food and clothes is unknown. Some men even surpass Kuber. And the earnings of the bodies. Sweat of 6 months, the 6-month-old head eats up with a vengeance. There are political rights, a government is set up in the land. Democracy functions with total success. An election is held every 5 years. But for the people in this land there are no names. So for the nameless citizens, the nameless representatives govern the land of the half-humans. Because whether to give human names to the head or to the body, no one can decide. A land such as this is very much in the news, a land much talked about. The Land of the Half-Humans by Thangjam Ibopishak Singh belongs to the anthology of contemporary poetry from the Northeast. The Indian poet and translator Robin S. Nongam translated the poem from the Meitei language to English. Being a poet hailing from Manipur, Thangjam Ibopishak Singh presents an overview of the socio-political situation of his native land through this poem. The land of half-humans is none other than the symbolic reference to Manipur, where various insurgent groups cause havoc to the existing peace of the land. Moreover, the fairy tale-like approach with a dystopian manifestation makes the poet's irony more scathing and piercing. The Land of the Half-Humans by Thangjam Ibopishak Singh talks about an imaginary land inhabited by humans living 6 months with heads and the rest with bodies. Summary. The Land of the Half-Humans by Thangjam Ibopishak Singh talks about an imaginary land inhabited by humans living 6 months with heads and the rest with bodies. The Land of the Half-Humans by Thangjam Ibopishak Singh talks about a place similar to any Indian state where humans live with heads for 6 months and the rest of the year with only their bodies. That's why those peculiar humans go on eating, drinking, and talking for the first 6 months. In the rest of the year, the half-body performs working, laboring, and shitting. The women of this land have well-proportioned bodies, and unlike men, they give birth through their mouths. According to the poet, this land inhabited by nameless half-humans is always in the news. The poet isn't sure why the land is so famous, as it is just like any other democratic state of India. The Land of the Half-Humans by Thangjam Ibopishak Singh consists of 29 long lines. The prosaic structure of the poem along with its lack of internal rhythm depicts the absence of harmony in the land the poet refers to through this poem. The story-like lines of the poem halt in the middle. Apart from that, there isn't any rhyme scheme and metrical scheme in the poem. It is in blank verse without having any rhyming at all. Moreover, the flow of the poem breaks often for presenting the nature of the humans living in that land. The poem is written from the first-person point of view and the poetic persona directly converses with the readers. Hence, this poem is an example of a dramatic monologue. The Land of the Half-Humans by Thangjam Ibopishak Singh begins with a rhetorical question or interrogation. In the fourth line, the poet uses a simile in the comparison between the eating style of those humans and the grinding of the millstone. Moreover, there is an allusion to the Indian epic Mahabharata. Here, the poet specifically refers to Bhima and Shakuni. By using the word share, the poet presents a metaphor. Here, the share refers to the feces. Apart from that, the poet uses repetition for the sake of emphasis. It is present in lines such as, the head talks, eats, drinks, just talking, eating, drinking, and, while the body is working, laboring, shitting, work, labor, shit. In these lines, the poet also uses a syndeton. There is a metaphor of reproduction in springtime. However, the lines of the poem get connected by the use of enjambment. The Land of the Half-Humans by Thangjam Ibopishak Singh talks about a land where humans live with the head without the body for 6 months, and in the following 6 months they live with the body without the head. The poet asks whether anyone has seen such a peculiar land. Usually, none has ever been to such a place. But, the poet has been to that land. However, by using a litote in this line, it's not a folktale, the poet tries to create credibility in readers' minds. Thereafter, the poet says for 6 months they only talk and eat without having the body to do any work. They eat like a millstone is grinding something. In the next 6 months, they suffer like Bhima and Shakuni, 2 characters from the Mahabharata. As the head has eaten too much in the previous months, the body now suffers from shitting that much. Moreover, the poet says the head only talks, eats, and drinks. Whereas, the body works, labors, and shits. The body of the half-human labors so hard that it becomes bone-weary in 6 months. The Land of the Half-Humans by Thangjam Ibopishak Singh illustrates the features of women of this strange land. They also live with their half-body and half-head. Like real women, they also have long hair. Moreover, they are big, tall, buxom, broad, and well-proportioned. As for clothes, they wear them below the waist. It is the custom of the land that doesn't permit one to hide her body. Apart from the features, the poet says that they copulate when the body dwells. It's like springtime in the land of half-humans. During the 6 months when those humans live with their bodies, for the absence of the head, they can't judge each other. They meet only for mating like animals. In the next 6 months, the mouth of a woman of that land gives birth to babies. Apart from that, the poet ironically says God created them with ingenuity. That's why women don't have teeth like half men, as having teeth will be problematic during childbirth. Thangjam Ibopishak Singh illustrates the head of those half-humans. According to the poet, the head can walk. Its 2 broad fan-like ears help them to fly. Here, the poet uses a simile to compare their flight with that of birds. Thereafter, the poet refers to their language. The poet says the head speaks the language of real men. But, when the body speaks, it makes only farting sounds associated with the foul smell. This land is always in the news. The poet doesn't know why. Everything is normal there. There isn't even the predicament of poverty and starvation. Some men of this land even surpass the god of wealth Kuber. Just like real human beings, they greedily eat up their earnings with a vengeance. In the land of the half-humans, there are political rights. The half-humans also set up a democratic government in the land. Naturally, the election is held every 5 years like any other state of India. Apart from that, the poet says that the people of this land have no names. The poet ironically remarks here, so for the nameless citizens the nameless representatives govern the land of the half-humans. There is a reason behind them having no names. They can't decide which part they should give the human names. It is important to note here that the land symbolically represents the northeastern states of India. And, through this line, the poet refers to the attitude of men living there. The last line makes it clear that in this poem, the poet is actually referring to his native land. Works cited. https://poemanalysis.com/thangjam-ibopishak-sing/the-land-of-the-half-human/